Hi, I have 3 graphite pencils from Faber-Castell and I'm going to show you how to do shading. I use only 3 pencils, H, HB and 2B. As you can see here, I'm using H as a light value for all the drawing. By the way, I have an old drawing that I transferred to my paper to make it easier to demonstrate the shading. And this is the light value of the face, which is using H. Now we add the dark values using 2B. I'm using hatching method and also cross-hatching. So we fill out all the dark areas that we need. Remember, just have 3 values is enough to create a good shading and good values to the total drawing. You don't have to create a lot of it. Now I'm back to the H to fill out all that area that shouldn't be white. It's not white like the white of the paper. So fill out the cheek area and around the eye, all using a hatching method. Now using the HB. The HB, it will create the transitioning between the dark and the light. It's a mid-tone area, and that's how you use it, is to create the transition between 2 values, dark, mid-tone and light. And that will give it the 3-dimensionality feel. You do this between all the dark and light areas to create that transition. Now we're back to the H, and this will cover cross-hatching all the area, as you can see. Because we selected H as the light value. Back to the H, we add more cross-hatching to the area because we thought it was a little bit light, so we just cross-hatch it to make it a little bit darker. Now we're using a 2B to create that dark contour shadow on the face, as you can see here. And we add the dark areas of the hair. I'm not gonna draw the whole thing because it's gonna take longer time, but I'm gonna just show you an example how it can be the shadows created, transitioning from the dark areas to the light areas. And now I'm just adding more cross-hatching, scribbling just over the shadows to fill in all the gaps that I missed. And it's okay if you leave any gaps. It's just your preference. Back to the HB, the mid-tone, to create the transition between the dark area. You don't need to create edges, harsh edges. So use the HB to create that transitioning from dark to light. Now back to the 2B, and we just enhance those dark areas. We add more dark accents if we can. And just remember, you don't have to copy a picture. Like if you see it too dark, you have to draw it too dark. No. As long as the values are uniformed, you are absolutely fine. You don't have to make your darkest dark. It's very dark. Or the lightest light, very light. Select 3 values. Select your dark, select your mid-tone, and select your light area. And use those all over the work to create uniformed values. That's the most important thing. It's the relationship between the values itself. Now I'm just doing the cross-hatching. Don't forget there are some accents required some darkness, a dark value. Don't ignore that. And this is under the eye, a little bit of a fold. And you can take your time even further with this drawing. You can just make a sharp pencil and then just go between those gaps that you left on the paper, and just keep adding that into the paper so you fill in every single gap you have. But even if you left cross-hatching, should be fine. The point of this, not to create hyper-realism, is just to create a good shading, transitioning from dark to light, to create the 3D environment. Always remember to practice your hand to do the hatching with one line, and then use the cross-hatching method. Use your wrist and practice a lot to create accuracy between the two lines. And even if it's not accurate, and just keep doing it, and just improve that hands and muscles to draw and create those lines accurately. Remember always to take care of the edges too. Don't make everything sharp. Some edges are really faded, some edges are a little bit sharp. So it has to be balanced between all these elements. And here just adding more cross-hatching on the forehead. I hope you found this video helpful for you to find a way to create a good shading for your graphite drawing, and I will see you next time.